Okay, Saggy, so we're talking about your second house. Your second house is the house of self-worth, self-value, self-esteem. It's also your house of money. It's also your house of, small movable possessions, like I always say, like your phone, your clothing, your jewelry. Small things that typically help you feel secure about being you. Now, the thing is, for you, you've been dealing with this for quite a while because you've got Jupiter here, Pluto here, and Pallas is here up until about the 15th. In that self-worth, self-value, self-esteem area. The thing is, Pluto's in retrograde, or Pluto's in shadow. He'll go retrograde on the 25th. Pluto is death, decay, and destruction for renewal, rebirth, regeneration. Pluto is somewhat like Mars. He wants you to come into your passion, into who you are, into your fire, into your flame. But where Mars, Pluto would be like Mars times 5. Okay? And in shadow, he's picking on you at where you're not coming into that self-value, self-worth, self-esteem. Jupiter behind him is bringing abundance and bringing that knowledge in. Now, we were just talking about self-worth, self-value, self-esteem comes into reality as you get into facing your insecurities. And for you, it's coming in, a lot of this is coming in that creative expression and the relationships of allowing you to completely come out and express yourself and be you. So are you having insecurities with that self-worth, self-value, self-esteem? Because, like I said, Pluto is in shadow until the 25th. So he's going to be picking on you, picking on those insecurities, picking on where you're possessive for insecure reasons. Picking on, where are you not tapping into your hidden talents? Where are you not investing in you? And ultimately, instead of creating security, you're creating insecurity. Because once he goes retrograde, he's going to really start pushing on that energy for you to push forward so that he can start really helping you find how to express that creative expression, how to have better, when you're dating, because the 5th house is where you meet people and start dating. So it'll make your dating life, deeper. It'll make your relationships deeper. It'll make your sex deeper. It'll also make, your hobbies, your interests, the things that you enjoy in life better according to how you communicate with yourself about that self-worth, self-value, and self-esteem. Your securities and creating securities by tapping into what you've been insecure about so that you can overcome that, which will ultimately take you away from being controlling in ways that are not working for you and possessive in ways that are not working for you. Because when you're in your power, truly in your power, you don't have to be possessive and you don't have to be controlling. It's only when you're insecure are you possessive and controlling, because something's lacking in that self-worth, self-value, self-esteem. Now, that 3rd house for you is Aquarius. Now, this is that communication house itself. How you communicate outwardly as well as communicate with yourself. Outwardly, as well as with yourself. Now, you've got Saturn who just moved in here and is going to be here for the next 2 years. And Saturn is going to be coming in stating, I'm going to be trying new things. Because in Aquarius, Saturn typically doesn't like to try new things. Saturn is rules, walls, and boundaries. He's very restricted and he doesn't like the change. He moves about it very slowly. But in Aquarius energy, which is your 3rd house, it's your communication, but it's also your neighbors and your siblings. Aquarius is the rebel within. It's the energy that takes on City Hall all by itself. It's what I call the fireworks. The fireworks are coming. but you don't know what you're going to get when you look up at them. It's also the water bearer of higher understanding. So this is communication coming in, going, well, we're going to try some things in new ways for the first 4 months. It'll be 2 months direct, 2 months retrograde. And then it's going to go back into that second house of self-worth, self-value, self-esteem, as well as your monies. And what it's going to do is it's going to re-tap into what you're learning now in this 4 month span. But what's kicking it off is this Mars energy here. So Mars is ready to put in a new fire in that communication. Maybe you step out of your comfort zone a little bit. You know, Mars is action, passion, aggression, fire. It's the sacral chakra, so it does deal with sexuality. It deals with how you feel about yourself when you look in the mirror. And are you confident? So Mars is bringing a new confidence in that's making you willing to communicate and shift the way you normally communicate, as well as getting into your intellect, your details, your trivia, different things that you can learn, because that's a form of communication. It's teaching you something. But this is also talking about the siblings and the neighbors, because it's short journeys of important things that are close to you that you can learn from also, like I said. Now, the thing is, your 4th house, you don't have anything changing here in your 4th house very much, other than Neptune has been here for a while. Neptune is able to help you find that inner emotional security if you'll tap into the insecurities, so that you know what you have to work on. What about the personal foundation is keeping you from truly digging in deep to you, getting to the roots of who and what you are? Like I said, in some cases, Spirit was saying, for some of you, this is your upbringing and, you know, how things were taught to you, how you might have been treated as a child. The personal foundations could either have strengthened the inner emotional security or kind of damaged them, and how you were raised, basically. So this is getting back to you, the true you, and experiencing even where there was harm, so that you can not point fingers, but to realize as an adult, we're shifting, we're changing, we're tapping into those insecurities so you can get secure, so that you can truly tap into your inner emotional creativity, which ultimately is going to change your relationships with yourself and everyone. Now, we talked about your 5th and 6th house, but what we didn't talk about is your 7th house. And for most of the month, your 7th house is speaking to that inner emotional security. It's talking to your self-worth, your self-value, and your self-esteem. And are you investing in you? You have, in that 7th house, you have Venus here, wanting to make connections, wanting to make confident and comfortable communication. Venus, a lot of people like to say rules love, but she doesn't. Venus is sensitivity, and she's sitting there traveling through with Vista. Vista is the soul fire. So there's a fire burning for relationships, whether it's, you know, dating relationships, or really strengthening the core of your relationships with your friends, your family, your parents, your children, the people that are important to you in your life. Because the soul fire is here, wanting to strengthen the core of the depth of it. But Venus is going to either be telling you where it's ooey gooey, soft and chewy, and please, I would like more, sir, because it likes this. Or it's going to go, yeah, no, I have a lot of resentment here. Yeah, no. You know, you hurt me. Yet no, you know, and it's going to be pointing these things out in these relationships where the relationship is making you choose to step away from that self-worth, self-value, self-esteem, or where it's completely telling you, yes, go for it. It's understanding that inner communication, like I said, of how to express yourself properly so that you are actually getting that communication across to yourself as well as to these relationships, so that you can find out if these are truly relationships you should be having. And lastly, your 8th house. The North Node Rahu only has a month left here. And he's been trying to teach you all year. In Cancer, the North Node is speaking to you about nurturing the rules of the relationship for you. So this is all coming to, a head. What are the rules in the relationships? Are there rules? Are they just your rules? Are there joint finances, joint efforts, joint resources? Is there a chance for transformation of change and healing? Can the rules of these relationships be shifted? It's called balance. And if you're the only one giving it or the only one receiving it, then that's not balance. It takes two to play, two to appreciate. This is saying that communication has to be learned. There's a communication fail here, whether it's to others or to yourself, or maybe both, that you have to work on, because the communication is something you're going to be working on for the next 2 years. And so is that creative expression and helping you to know, especially right now over this month, how to get right with your self-worth, self-value, self-esteem. So you're investing in working out securities, not restarting insecurities. I love you guys. Bye.